You keep dancing with the devil. One day he's gonna follow you home.
Sinners clearly had a demonic undertone, and I'm not talking about the vampires. This movie walks a dangerous line between being entertaining and spiritual discomfort. From the very first scene, it tells you what kind of story it's gonna be. It opens with a bloody young man, Sammy, walking into church, stumbling, holding a broken guitar neck like a weapon. Then you see a flash of fire and demonic energy. That contrast of sacred and cursed sets the tone for the entire movie. A broken boy chased by darkness, seeking shelter in the house of God. And what happens next? The vampires don't vanish, they follow him. They always do. Now, some people say this movie's about race due to it being in the 1930s Delta and the clearly evident racial undertones. And of course there's the vampires, but underneath it all, it's about God versus the devil. Temptation versus faith. Characters like Annie aren't just side characters, she's a spiritual symbol. She believes in voodoo. She puts her trust and belief in bones, stones, and charms. And in the world of sinners, that's rewarded. You see that with the mojo bag that keeps Smoke alive. The filmmakers even used real voodoo materials in Annie's shop. You see bones, herbs, different stones, and rituals that don't seem fictional. There are rumors that real spells were used during their production. That alone should tell you how deep the symbolism runs in this movie. Now, Sammy's story mirrors one of the oldest southern folklore tales, the legend of Papa Legba. They say that if a man stands at a crossroads, desperate for greatness, an entity will appear. Not with horns, not with fire, but with a smile and a contract. You see, Sammy's called Preacher Boy on the account that his dad's a pastor. And the movie follows how badly Sammy wants to sing, wants to perform, to use his God-given gift. But you see, back then the blues music was viewed as the devil's music, and Sammy knew that. You even see his father bringing Sammy's guitar into the church, pleading with him to use his God's gift for the church and not to trade it for the temptations of the world. And that right there is a central tension. Sammy is currently on the crossroads, and when he sings in the juke joint, he chooses. Let's talk about that juke joint. Smoke and Stack bring him into that building full of alcohol, lust, temptation. But you see, it's not just a club. It's a place built on sin, bought with blood money. Smoke and Stack didn't just open a business, they opened a door. And when Sammy, a preacher's son with a God's given voice, sings in that place, the vampires show up. Because the blood they want isn't always literal. It's the soul, the influence, the voice. You see, that's what the industry takes first. Smoke saw this before anyone else. He threatens Sammy, warns him, if I ever catch you performing in this place again, it's over. Why so harsh? Because Smoke already walked that path. He danced with the devil, made deals, lost people that he loved. He knows what happens when gifted men chase the wrong spotlight. He wasn't trying to control Sammy. He was trying to protect him, but it was too late. Sammy already tasted what it felt like to be seen, to be worshipped. That's when temptation turns into transformation and innocence begins to rot. You see, the climax wasn't when the vampires attacked, it's when Remick repeats Sammy's prayer back to him, saying, those words used to comfort me too. That line right there broke Sammy. Because if evil can speak the language of faith, what's left to believe in? But you see, that's the devil's greatest trick. Not possession, not fire, but confusion. Make you doubt, make you question, make you walk away from the spirit. Not with the signature, but with silence. Sinners wasn't about vampires. It's about what happens when God-given gifts are given to the world instead of the spirit. This wasn't just a horror movie, it was a prophecy, and most people missed it. If you saw Sinners then more than a vampire movie, drop a comment and let me know what part hit you the hardest. And if you're still chasing a gift, be careful what crossroads you choose.